When it comes to bikes, my philosophy is pretty simple. If a bike can handle the rocky backcountry trails, then it can handle the streets. So when Puckipuppy offered to send me one of their dual suspension, budget-friendly Labrador e-bikes to review, I was excited to put this stylish bike through the paces and find out if a budget e-bike can pass the Wild Spaces test. After unpacking the Labrador and a short assembly session, I was ready to see what the Labrador offers. Now, the bikes I review tend to get a bit messy while I'm running them through the gauntlet, so before giving the Puckipuppy Labrador a taste of Earth, let's do a quick walk around. While available in a few colors, my test model is in the metallic gray variation. All in all, it's a pretty sharp looking bike, sporting a 750 watt rear hub motor that peaks at about 1000 watts. The Labrador includes a basic 7-speed Shimano derailleur, throttle control, dual front and rear suspension, 26-inch Black Cat fat tires, hydraulic disc brakes, and a digital display for monitoring speed, mileage, battery status, and your pedal assist setting. The front suspension fork is lockable and also includes a basic preload dial, where the rear shock spring can be adjusted by rotating the spring cylinder. It's also worth noting that while the Labrador's wide seat isn't ideal for mountain biking, as bike seats go, it's super comfortable, and I'm quite curious to see how well it holds up over time. And for those of you who are wondering, the Puckipuppy Labrador utilizes a cadence sensor rather than a torque sensor. But at this introductory price point, that's not at all surprising. The bike weighs about 75 pounds, which is a fair amount lighter than many other dual suspension fat tire e-bikes. And Puckipuppy claims that the 48 volt 20 amp hour battery has a range of 40 to 80 miles on a full charge, and that the bike has a payload capacity of 400 pounds. But after my tests, it's clear those figures are based on level city riding. If you're heading into the mountains or hills, or onto uneven roads, you're looking at a fraction of that range. During my off-road tests, I got between 10 and 15 miles, and that of course is going to depend on your level of pedal assist and how much you use the throttle. While the bike's frame and suspension capably handled both developed and primitive terrain, the bike's motor struggled with prolonged uphill grades. I'll give you a couple of examples. While climbing this dirt path, the Labrador actually handled the incline very well. But this incline only lasted for about 500 yards to 1,000 yards. But when I attempted a miles-long incline on a paved road, the Labrador started off strong, and when utilizing the throttle, the Labrador was averaging about 10 to 12 miles per hour uphill, which isn't bad. But after a while, I began noticing that the motor was giving me less torque. On a steep incline, under sustained load, the e-motor eventually gave out. But that was when tackling climbs of over a mile anyway. And the loss of power definitely wasn't permanent. After giving the bike a rest, it then seemed like it was ready to resume in peak form. So I'm not exactly sure what explains this little quirk. Whether it's the motor overheating or some other reason, I can't say. But it is something to be aware of. But while on leveled, paved paths, it was pretty easy to reach speeds of close to 20 miles per hour using the bike's throttle control. Now that being said, I recently took the Puckipuppy Labrador on a family campout, and it was a big hit. The Labrador is ideally suited to the winding and undulating paved roads that were around our campground. One family member, with admittedly limited exposure to e-bikes, repeatedly cheered, "This is amazing," while riding the Labrador. We actually had a hard time getting her off the bike. She enjoyed it that much. So around our camp on the undulating roadways, the Labrador performed very well. And the same is true of level terrain and downhill trails. But if you're looking for a bike that can make long, rough, mountainous climbs, this isn't the bike for you. Undulating hills or level terrain? Sure, I expect the Labrador to perform quite well. but it just doesn't have the torque or the endurance for those prolonged climbs over miles. Now, that might sound like I advise passing on the Puckipuppy Labrador, but that's not at all the case. At a price of $1,200, the Labrador is both affordable and quite capable on varied terrain. If you're looking for a bike that can handle long, rocky climbs, then I'd keep looking. But I'd also advise that you start saving your money. Based on my experience, the torque of your bikes also costs between 2 and 4 times more than what you'll pay for the Puckipuppy Labrador. The Labrador fits a specific niche and it does it very well. If you're looking for an affordable, introductory e-bike that can handle the paved jungle but also lets you scratch that itch to hit the trails, then I'd give the Labrador a serious look. Just understand, when purchasing a budget-friendly option, there are going to be trade-offs. The Labrador lacks conveniences like quick-release levers for the wheels, meaning that servicing a flat tire off-road is going to require some additional tools. And in a perfect world, the bike's motor would have more endurance, the onboard computer would offer some touchscreen functionality, elevation graphs, and more. But again, you'll pay for those premium features. Put simply, the Labrador is more utilitarian than premium, and I've had a lot of fun testing this bike. It's a capable and affordable option for commuters who also want to dabble in off-road adventure. And that's where my love of biking truly resides, where I can explore the backcountry with the rocks and dirt beneath my wheels. Puckipuppy also offers a robust warranty to help you protect your investment. But as always, make sure you read your manual and properly maintain your bike at all times. And compared with traditional bikes, there are a few more things to consider when using an e-bike. Now, all the bikes I review are UL certified, but it is still important to follow proper charging protocols in order to prevent battery fires. You should also know that the far greater weight of an e-bike compared with a traditional mountain bike necessitates some greater cautions while mountain biking. It can be a bit harder to manage all that extra weight or go faster than is prudent, so make sure that you're riding responsibly and only on paths where e-bikes are legal. Finally, if you're interested in purchasing one of these rugged bikes, Puckipuppy is currently offering $50 off when you use the promo code MG50 on puckipuppy.com. So, click the link below in the description and go check them out. And until next time, this is Mike reminding you to be safe, be respectful to others and our wild spaces, and go have some fun.